Spooky month's over already? I only missed it by 5 fucking months? Fuck, man, I had like a whole fucking video recorded and edited, and like I had it like half edited. I was all dressed up and shit. Like some stupid fucking joke about Goosebumps, so I didn't get to upload it. You know, well, shit happens, right? Life comes at you. Like, I switched rooms, I grew more hair, I read a whole bunch of books, as to be expected. Like this one, Tress of the Emerald Sea, which I had been holding off on reading until I got the physical leather-bound book. You know, I've been waiting for it to show up, and the shipments getting pushed or whatever, and, you know, I understand, Sanderson, I got it, you know. But finally, I got the book, finally. Not finally, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I got it. Yeah, it took a while. 3 months or whatever. Anyway, it was a good book. You kind of immediately start reading it, and there's already those Sanderson hooks right off the bat, right? And the Sanderson hook, I would say, is like kind of something that's very different about this, you know, relatively normal world, but there's one thing in it that is so different that it just makes it totally alien. And in this, in Tress of the Emerald Sea, it's that there are 12 different moons hovering around the planet that Tress lives on, raining down these like spores. And they're raining down so many spores that the world's oceans are actually made out of these spores. There's 12 different colored spores, and they each do different things, because naturally Sanderson is just like, there couldn't be like one or two. There couldn't even just be one. There has to be a fucking million. Most of which don't even show up in the story or are even spoken about. I think we see like 5 total kinds, or like hear about 5. And each spore kind of does a different thing when it's exposed to water. So, you know, obviously these oceans are very hazardous because there are a million spores. If you drop like a bucket of water, they're all going to do something. So like the emerald one, the spores turn into big vines when they get water on them. The crimson, they get all spiky, they grow spikes. The zephyr ones explode into air. You know, where else do we have water? We have water in our eyes and our mouth, so it's very risky to like sail these seas, because if you inhale one, you're gonna fucking blow up, or you're gonna get protruded with spikes, or you're going to, you know, whatever. Lots of cool things are done with spores too. You're introduced to them in a way that makes you immediately afraid of them and perceive them as a threat, which they are constantly. But there's also a lot of cool experiments done with them, and kind of ways that they're used that you wouldn't expect, which was, you know, also very Sanderson-like, to just have a bunch of long-ass parts dedicated to experimenting. Like the emerald spores, at a certain point, Tress like realizes that she could actually use them to make like a grass tree bomb that will raise the boat out of the sea and save them. Or the Zephyr ones, when the way they shoot cannons in this world is by putting a pocket of Zephyr spores at the end of a cannon and then like getting them wet so it shoots the cannonball when they all explode into air. Super cool. Just Sanderson's MO for sure, where it's just like he introduces these nutty changes into nature and kind of sees how that would affect the law, the natural order of things. Very fun. The spores are, you know, hands down my favorite part of the book. That said, though, the story itself is quite nice. I enjoyed it. It's got this kind of fairy tale quality to it, where it's like Tress just kind of literally trying to get from point A to point B being where her prince is located that she's trying to save, her loved one. It's very like simple at the start, which I kind of enjoy. It's just like literally, oh shit, my man got captured, I have to go save him, and I like that. Kind of refreshing. She learns a bunch of lessons on the way, and then, you know, she has a group of pirate friends. They learn lessons. They teach her things. She teaches them things. You know, they all become better people by the end. It's very standard, yet satisfying. A lot of cool mystery solving. I kind of actually like that the 2 main villains are pretty black and white. It just really works for this kind of story. We don't need to have too complex motives for, you know, evil people. Sometimes it can just be like, they are a roadblock with shitty motives that need to be getting rid of. And, you know, it makes it easier to root for Tress as the underdog if these 2 villains are very powerful and yada yada yada. It's fun. Hoyd kind of is the narrator of the story. Not kind of, he just is, which is really cool, because I mean it's kind of a second person story, which is dope. No, it's not. It's still third person. Well, it is kind of first person and third person at the same time, where whenever Hoyd is on screen and he's describing himself, he uses I, but like he's not there for a lot of the story, yet still somehow describing it. as if watching like a fly on the wall, i.e. third person. So because he's narrating the entire time, it makes for a lot of humor. And Sanderson's humor is very, very hit or miss for me. I'm pretty much 50-50 on all of his jokes. Most I just kind of tolerate, and I'm like, that exists. That was a bracket, insert joke here, and bracket, and it kept the tone light, and now I'm going to continue reading. And there are definitely some real sluggers, some that I really appreciate and thought were super funny, and some that I couldn't stand. But to each their own. Humor is about as subjective as it gets, and Sanderson is an inexplicably wholesome white hole in the depressing, deep space that is the authoring world. So some of his eye-rolly jokes don't hurt me too bad. I'm willing to take that sacrifice for Sanderson to keep being the way he is. I would just say don't go in expecting like Abercrombie. If like you've only read Joe Abercrombie or something, then don't go in expecting really biting, gritty, witty humor. It's more like straight animated movie kind of humor. Now for what I am personally and was personally most excited about, the book itself. It is absolutely lovely. This is I didn't care how good these books were, how good the insides looked, how well written or edited they were. I wanted them to look fucking nice on my shelf, and it definitely will. The leather is very nice. Look at the flash on the golden text. I just very satisfied with how this looks. Not to mention the very nice art inside. It looks great. Also some pictures. And then there's like the way that the chapter numbers evolve and change as the story goes on. It's such a nice polish that I just appreciate so much. It makes the book as a whole just like so visually nice and interesting. I do have one critique. Some of the art kind of spoils shit that happens a couple pages after where the art is. You know, I'll see a big spread of something that's going to happen in a scene that I haven't read yet, or something that the current scene is leading towards, and I'm like, oh, well now I just literally know what's going to happen. Including kind of the climax of the story, and I was like, oh. Which seems like if you're going to be putting art in your book, that would be the one thing you would want to avoid, is having it come too early. Have it come 100 pages too late. That would be better than coming even one page too early, in my opinion. But yes, they all kind of come too early, which is weird. I can't really fathom how anybody would be like, that's okay. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. Maybe mine has a mistake. Anyway, it wasn't catastrophic. I wasn't like heartbroken or upset. It just kind of objectively is strange. But now it doesn't really matter to me because I finished the book, I know what happens, and I have this fucking beauty sitting on my shelf. Well worth the money. I would spend good money on this by itself. Very, very much worth the price and the wait. As was the entire package. Brand Sand is off to a very good start with Tress. And I can't wait to take a peek-see at what the next one's like. Meaning I can't wait to get the leather bound for the next one. I'm not, I tried to read Tress on the ebook. I just don't like reading ebooks. So I'm just gonna wait again for this next book. It seems pretty cool. I guess I don't want to spoil people who don't know yet. It seems nice, and I'm pumped, and I will definitely be reviewing that for the channel again. 7.5 for this one. Good job, Sando. I don't see it going down from here. He's a very, very consistent author. So, next time. See you next time. I'm hoping to upload every 2 weeks, but we'll fucking see, huh? Life's unpredictable. It comes at you sometimes. You just roll with the punches, right? You just roll with the punches. So I'll see you next time, see you then, or see you in 5 months. Or any time in between, really. 10 months. 2 weeks.